okay, I'm actually losing thousands of dollars if I don't go up and say hi. That's the point it got to. And for me, that was the tipping point. Like I couldn't do it without having the leverage in place. I had no one pushing me. I had no money invested in this shit. I had no reason to take action. 9 months studying this shit, zero interaction, zero approaches. That's literally what it was. And after 9 months of going out and watching more approach anxiety and doing that, eventually I was like, yo, I can't do this alone. I literally can't do this alone. If I could do this alone, I would have done it by now. Period. If I could have done this alone, in theory, I should have done it by now. It's not like give it more time and suddenly I'll just be able to do it by myself. It doesn't work like that. Okay. So 9 months, eventually I was like, you know what? F this. Like, I actually reached out to the dude I was watching and was like, yo, I want to work with you. What do I need to do? Thank God I even had that initiative to reach out to him. Thank God. I'll give myself a little bit of credit because my dad died when I was very young. My dad passed away when I was 12 years old. So I kind of grew up without a father figure. And without having that father figure in place, I kind of learned at a young age that there isn't anybody there teaching me. I actually have to seek out the knowledge, and all of the knowledge is there. Everybody in the world has the knowledge. You just need to seek it from the right people. And since I didn't have that father figure there, like a lot of you guys may have parents, you may have awesome dads. I'm not knocking your dads. You know, if you're constantly being told what to do and you're constantly getting that guidance and direction, you don't instinctually learn to seek that guidance. It's almost like if you're being fed steak, you don't have to learn how to hunt. I learned at a young age that I needed to seek guidance. Okay. And although I learned, it still was not fast enough. Like I said, guys, I still bullshitted with this for a long time. It took me, I told you, 7 years, which is why I'm showing you how to fast track your results. I mean, this could potentially save you guys years. Even bullet point number one, I wasted 9 months on that shit. It wasn't until I literally hired that guy, I hired that coach, that I would even go up and say hi, because it was at a point where I was like, you know what? Like, I literally invested thousands at this point. This is what I'm talking about with leverage. It was literally at a point where I was like, okay, I'm actually losing thousands of dollars if I don't go up and say hi. That's the point it got to. And for me, that was the tipping point. Like, I couldn't do it without having the leverage in place. Straight up, I couldn't do it. I just could not do it. But once there was money on the line, I was like, well, now I'm actually going to lose fucking thousands of dollars. And at the time, it was all of my money. It wasn't like I was balling, dude. I was paycheck to paycheck. This was 2014. I was making like 17 an hour and I had less than $1,000 in my bank account. I got on a fucking payment plan with this guy. I put down like 800 bucks, or maybe I saved one paycheck. And then when I got my next paycheck, I put down like 1,000 or some shit like that. And it put me on a payment plan. So when you're on a fucking payment plan and you have another payment due, and you know you're going to be reporting to this guy who's like expecting you to do this first step. For me, that was enough leverage to actually start taking the shit seriously. And it wasn't until I got to that moment, doubled down, invested in myself, and had that fucking skin in the game that I actually started taking action. For me, I just couldn't do it otherwise. Some dudes, hey, they can do it naturally. Honestly, like there's guys that don't even need fucking dating coaches. Like they just naturally have it. But for me, I didn't have the dating life I wanted. I didn't have the social skills I wanted. I couldn't do cold approach. I had studied a lot of theory and was not living the dating life I wanted. And for me, it wasn't until I was invested in the fucking game for me to like, you know what, dude? I need to do this now. Otherwise, I just blew thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not be able to go up and talk to that girl, but I was like, yo, I'll pay you 3K if you go up and talk to that girl. You would probably go up and talk to that girl. You'd be like, 3,000? Like, okay, cool. Just like you would be able to do that for 3K, I would be like, yo, if you don't go up and talk to that girl, you're going to lose $3,000. And you'd be like, what? Like, yeah, you're going to lose $3,000 wasted if you don't go up and talk to that girl. You would go up and talk to that girl.
Do you spend hours and hours on YouTube watching pickup and dating content, but yet you're still not getting the results you feel like you deserve? I mean, that's exactly how I was. I spent 9 months watching YouTube content obsessively without ever making a single approach, without ever talking to a girl. And the messed up part of it was I genuinely thought I was getting better while I was watching that content. I would watch a new video, I would study, I would learn something, and in my mind, I thought I was getting better. And this process continued over months and months and months. The reality I never talked to a single girl during that time. And when I finally went out, I had watched so much content that I was so overwhelmed in my brain that I couldn't even open. 9 months wasted studying content to take zero action. Because the reality is, it's not about the content you study, it's about the action, the implementation, and the execution that's ultimately going to get you those new reference experiences, that's going to get you that success, that's going to build up that core confidence and help you internalize the content you actually study. Okay, studying without execution is literally meaningless. It's actually going to put you more in your head. Okay, that's literally what happened to me. And it wasn't until I finally hired a mentor and was invested, had some skin in the game, had some accountability, that I finally started taking action. He showed me that step-by-step game plan, that roadmap, as well as what I needed to focus on this week, right now, what I needed to go out and do and execute. And guess what? Once I had all of those pieces and I was actually invested and I had that guidance, I did take that next step. I did push it one step forward, and I did finally start to make some progress, okay? Watching a bunch of content without doing the other side of it is absolutely pointless. And this is exactly why I've come up with my brand new mentorship program, to hold guys accountable, to give them that personalized guidance, as well as that step-by-step game plan for them to focus on what they need to go out to implement and to execute right now. Not watching hours and hours and hours of content to get more in their head. No, none of that, okay? I'm gonna literally show you what you need to do right now just to take that next step. We're gonna hold you accountable. I'm gonna answer any questions that you have along the way, and you're gonna get that personalized coaching that you need from someone that's been through this before, okay? That's the best way to get results in this, and ultimately the most effective, fastest process to really genuinely get good at this, okay? So if you're interested in doing this, click the link below, click the link in the description, and book a free call with us to find out more about how you can work with me, not a member from my team, but actually you'll work with me personally to achieve your goals with women and dating. Click the link below, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace out.